Today, I'm going to be covering the Week 2 update for BitCraft's early access, but I want to start by rewinding to the Day 2 update from Clockwork Labs. On Day 2, they tackled some critical server performance issues that were plaguing the launch. It was a little bit of a bumpy launch, I'm going to give them that, but it is an indie MMO. Personally, with any MMO that is dropping in early access, especially an indie MMO, I feel like this is to be expected. And it didn't bother me at all. But also at the same time, after I streamed on launch day, I ended up getting food poisoning, so I was down and out for a few days. So I didn't really get to experience a lot of the instability issues while they were going on. Once I was better, everything was fine. But these fixes led to a huge improvement in server stability, helping flip Steam reviews from mixed to mostly positive as players really felt that impact. But what I really want to talk about today is early access week 2. In this tiny but mighty update, they talk about priorities, updates, balance, griefing, and so on and so forth, including player housing. There's currently some bank stuff going on. We're super excited to see how all of you have been progressing in BitCraft, and the fact that we keep hitting new peak player counts, showing that this is just the beginning for BitCraft. The team has been firing on all cylinders, taking the mountains of feedback, suggestions, and bug reports you've given us, and working to put the most effective dent in them. There is a near infinite amount of stuff we could do next, and so this is where prioritization is key to make sure we are focusing on the right stuff to improve the game and most of the things we do next. As we enter the second week of BitCraft, being released in early access, we are moving to the next stage of update cadence. While in the first week, we were focused exclusively on near daily highest priority fixes. We're now entering the beginning of a new predictable weekly update schedule. In the coming weeks, we will be releasing an update each week which contains new content, bug fixes, and other improvements and balances. We will continue to release updates for the highest priority issues. Updates will roll out over a course of Wednesday to Thursday with new client builds starting on the preview branch, and content server changes coming on either day depending on if it's backwards compatible. So they pretty much stated they have an update schedule. They're focusing on priorities and bug fixes and all the feedback that we're giving them. And the biggest feedback is players wanted WASD. Well, it is now officially in the game. In the Discord, they announced that their headliner of this week is definitely the addition of the new control preset, WASD character movement. They then stated this is by no means a perfect implementation of WASD, but it's a cleaned up version of the one they had tested internally, which they mentioned before. We have countless more improvements we'll be adding to it if it proves popular, but we opted to get what we had out to you this week than hold it back any longer. So yeah, WASD is officially in the game, and yeah, they're right, it's not perfect, it is clunky, but you get what you get. If you guys wanted WASD, they definitely added in the experimental build to it. They're going to be tweaking it in the future if people like it. But for me personally, BitCraft is a point-and-click game, and I've been kind of going back and forth with both to see which one I prefer. I do prefer point-and-click. I'm going to be completely real there, but I have used WASD a good bit, and I'm still using it now, try to get used to it a little bit more. The next thing we're going to be covering is they are disabling the temporary claim supply drain reduction. As a note, you'll find that the drain is cheaper than it was prior to the temporary change for small claims, and higher for very large claims. If you find the drain is too high, you might consider downsizing your claim or using some of the coins in your treasury to buy supplies from players using your claim. So yeah, before all this, you could just drop a bunch of supplies and you have like 180 days protection. Now that has been drastically reduced. From there, we're going to be talking about the notable changes that were in the update. One is they added several new hair colors, along with several colorful options from the twins. More to come in future updates. They added some new elixirs crafted by Scholar that could be used while crafting and gathering for more effective effects. They added new pavement options for every tier, increased monster and huntable animal protected time from 10 seconds to 60 seconds, more than double the chance of obtaining crop oil when processing starbulb plants. You can now see the tier of a settlement by right-clicking it on the map. That's a big one. That's going to help out a lot of players. You can now gain XP for sailing or riding mounts. And then they also said the amount is small for now to gauge feedback and test without disrupting the meta too much. Yeah, we noticed how small it was right when they dropped this information. We started riding our goats around the settlement. I was specifically riding it around the settlement, and like 2 or 3 people jumped in. I managed to level up, but it is a small gain. But I think this is a good addition to the game, especially for sailing. I was kind of shocked when there was no XP gain for sailing and the only way you can level up is doing swim stuff. So that's a big thumbs up to me. I really enjoy this. They updated the way quests track objectives to make it easier to retrack an objective. They fixed carts and mounts not being able to move in the swamp, along with some other changes like the owl now sings and dances when you're near it, small things like that. This is a tiny but mighty update. I am really enjoying all the things they've done for BitCraft and how they're listening to the player feedback, and they're really trying to make sure they get to everyone and listen to the entire community. And on top of that, these updates are going to be very frequent. They're going to be like week-to-week basis until eventually they go to a month-to-month basis. And they even say that their goal for these updates is to focus on the following categories of changes: new content, balance, UX improvements, bug fixes, and performance improvements. While we aren't planning huge system additions in the coming weeks, we do have some larger content updates on the horizon, which will come as we begin to add more substantial monthly updates into the mix. Some of these include player housing and PvE dungeons, which I'm excited for both of those. Player housing and PvE dungeons both are heavily requested, especially within my community. Specifically player housing. My community wants player housing because of some little bank changes that are going to be implemented in very soon. A lot of settlements have been dropping more than one bank, and that was not intended. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be removing all extra banks on a settlement, refunding for the writ, but they did ask to save them some time and our community some time to go ahead and have everyone remove the stuff from the bank and remove the bank ourselves. The next thing they talk about is griefing. When it comes to cases of players griefing or causing conflict in the world, our policy is to take the stance of moderate, don't mediate. This means intervening and actioning cases where players are doing things against the rules or community guidelines of the game, but not stepping in places where the tools of the game are designed to facilitate sandbox player interaction. At the character and settlement scale, doing something using in-game mechanics which has the express purpose of bothering another player and has no in-game remedy for that player to take is considered griefing and will be actioned as a form of moderation. In the medium term, we aim to remove these cases through game design, but in the short term, we will take action. For example, using a claim totem to prevent another claim from expanding, doing actions which have a remedy or under player control, they will not take action in, and is considered a part of the sandbox experience of BitCraft. And they gave two good examples: a player you gave permission to on your claim taking a bunch of items and leaving the claim, and a player removing pavings from a road you built on unclaimed areas. So we did have the first one happen to us in our claim, and I witnessed it firsthand. I gave people permission and they immediately went to the box, the storage box, cleared everything out and legged it, joined another empire, joined another settlement. So we now have a lot more rules. I was a little bit more open to allowing it. I was like Oprah. I was like, you get permissions, you get permissions. That was really stupid of me. So we now have our own little system about that. But I do agree here that this isn't on them. That was a me decision and I allowed it to happen. And you can't really get mad at players removing paving on a road you built that it's not on a claimed area. If they want to change that, they can. It sucks, you put in that hard work, but you know, people have free will. And lastly, they said at the empire scale, we currently believe that anything goes between empires. But if it comes up that there's something players are doing with no fair resources that others can take, we will make it clear. We do not intend for empires to affect or do battle with settlements and vice versa. We understand there are undesired cases right now where empire watchtowers can affect claims, and that is not our intention, and we aim to resolve these issues as soon as possible. See, I kind of did that on accident. I wasn't really paying attention when I was dropping watchtowers. I was dropping them all over the place where I thought there was no land claimed or there was no settlement. The map wasn't updating, so I was just dropping it, and turns out I was dropping it near people's claims. There is currently an issue I'm trying to resolve right now. But I will say this, on the empire scale, people are empiring hard. I am in too many empire meetings, and people are taking it very seriously. I'm getting messages that seem like it came from a medieval scroll in the middle of the night, and they're all saying, respond forthwith. Did not anticipate I would actually have to be doing kingly duties, but here we are. I'm weirdly having a blast with it though. I am being roped into empire drama. There was some things going on with one empire north of us that was very land hungry, and they found every issue they can. Any breaking of our peace treaties, they said that one person fueled a revolt of another claim that was within their empire, which was not the case. They said they supplied 26 capsules. They just handed them one capsule and they're like, here you go. Hope you have a good time. Enjoy the game. It got blown out in proportion. and I'm over there typing at like 3 a.m. when I should be asleep trying to resolve issues that weren't even issues of my own. But yeah, loving the game. It's so much fun. But if you just got BitCraft and you're not really part of an empire and you're wanting to join one, we are in Meyerfold. We have a nice settlement down there. Fast travel, join us. Our empire is called Tavernhold. Our main settlement is Tavern Hearth. We have 2 more that'll be joining us very soon. We'll get you set up. If you need some gear, everyone is very, very open to helping each other. But yeah, that's the video. I really enjoyed this update, and I really enjoy the transparency and clarity that they're providing the community. And they added WASD. Are you guys happy with WASD, or do you guys want to stick to point and click? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you guys are down there commenting, be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload a video. If you want to know the exact moment I upload a video, be sure to join my Discord. My Discord is a super happy and welcoming community. And if you're watching this right now, this very second, there's a chance I'm streaming on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Perzival. Perzival, and I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys like podcasts, I have a true crime and paranormal podcast called What Dwells Beneath. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It is me in a more serious light, less jokey, more stabby. And last but not least, be sure to follow me on all my social media. I have TikTok, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads, all that. All that is in the description down below. But yeah, that's the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!